I want to welcome all of you. Today is the 8th of October, and we are well into the month of October, which has already begun to show signs of some pretty deep clearings that are happening. It is part of moving into the next phase of the ascension process, quite literally. And we've been going through so much, even since the Lion's Gate, which is literally the 8-8, which began the process. We're 2 months past that. And I know if you're anything like me, the last 2 months have been interesting as we continue to go through a massive dismantling. And that is happening across every level of creation. This is probably some of the deepest levels that we have been able to get to. And as we sit here today on October 8th, Pluto is turning direct at 26 degrees of Capricorn and is ready to activate the final 4 degrees of the sign before entering Aquarius in March of 23. And that will be the first time that's happened since 1798. And so as we even look at Pluto, and Pluto is part of the unraveling that has happened. It is connected to the stargates in Iran and Iraq. And everything is being systematically, let me put it that way, systematically unraveled, and yet it's all happening simultaneously. And so we sit in this beautiful experience of continuing to unravel from the lower frequencies. And yes, we have in the quantum levels unraveled the first, second, and third. And it is now beginning to trickle down into this reality. So this is an ongoing process to make sure that we are no longer being trapped or brought back into or snagged is one of the things that I've felt as well. Back into the lower frequencies that are still on the global playing field trying to come undone. So it's a interesting process that I think many of you have noticed things coming back up, and you're like, I thought we'd cleared that. Patterns re-emerging that are taking you even deeper into the totality of who you are. And some of these experiences that are coming to the surface, you may not even recognize or remember experiences in this life stream where that has been an issue, because you are in fact working across the totality as you as a creator being throughout the multiverse. And I know that's a lot to wrap our heads around. And so we tend to always be looking for how does it relate to this live stream? And I'm here to tell you it might not. It might not correlate. You may not be able to figure out, well, where is that showing up in this live stream? But I also want you to recognize and understand that many of the things that are surfacing, they're not personal. These are big collective containers in which we all play in. And so you may not be able to find the correlation. I know many are still even talking about, oh, I'm sure that's just karma. And karma has been unraveled. The actual fabric of karma has been unraveled for quite a long time. So this isn't about personal learning as much as it is truly acknowledging and integrating aspects of ourselves that many may not even be aware of. And so as we go through and we're sitting on this beautiful date here in October, as Pluto is moving into a final stage between now and March of 2023, which we think that's so far away. That's only 6 months. Things are moving so quickly. We entered into the sixth phase of this ascension process in August, and I do believe by the 11/11 we will be moving into the seventh. I mean, this is how fast things are happening. And so I just invite you, with all of the chaos that is still playing out and will continue. It never seems to be pretty on the global stage. But even as we transverse through this incredible experience, always knowing that as you drop back into your heart, as you come into that awareness and deep connection, that if you stay there, if you walk through this experience by constantly coming back to the heart, getting out of the ego, getting out of the headspace, this process, as we move through the next several months again, will be much, much easier. There is a beautiful opportunity to release the need to know. If it's showing up in your reality as something that's rubbing you wrong, something that feels out of alignment, a person that is kind of making your skin crawl or irritating you, you need to move beyond it being personal and recognize that we're really unraveling at layers you may never have awareness of at this time. In the future, perhaps, of course, there is no future, but that again is another level of the consciousness, to just simply be in the awareness, be in your heart, and radiate that higher frequency in every single situation. And I do believe the next few weeks there will be some challenges coming up as we traverse unraveling even more of the quantum dark at very, very, very high levels, and how that will play out on the world stage and what that will trigger in the human psyche. And so, once again, I just invite you to become the observer of your life and move out of the identification as a singular expression and into the observer of the higher levels of your consciousness as often as you can, because that allows you to get out of the way, and it allows you to stay in your heart and recognize that even though this is an inside job, it isn't all about you in this expression as an human ego. And it's a fine line to walk, to understand and bounce back and forth between living in the reality and being the observer of it. But the quicker you can master and remember to do that, the easier this ride will be.